So I am back in downtown Knoxville today for part 2 of the urban fishing series. And there goes a helicopter. That's just part of fishing in an area like this, is you do have lots of noises. There's some kind of factory up there making noise. But as you can see behind me, that is downtown Knoxville. Today we're actually going to be fishing a little creek in South Knoxville, just on this side of the river, called Goose Creek. It runs through an area called Vestal. If you're watching this and you're a local, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it actually is downstream from a Superfund site from a lot of pollution. And I'm gonna look up some of the information about that and share that at the end of this video. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get us going up the creek, see how far we can go. You know, this may be a situation where I can't go very far, but let's see what we can find. Coming up to the entrance of the creek now. I don't know if there used to be a bridge here. Holy crap, it's loud. Sounds like they've got a giant dryer with trucks in it. Anyways, but there is a mattress up here on this big piece of concrete still. Don't know what that means exactly, but I'm gonna keep my eyes out. I like to think when I'm in a kayak out here on the water, I'm a little safer than bank fishing. Like, it'd be kind of harder to get to me, but it doesn't mean somebody could throw something at me, so it's gonna be careful. So like the first video, I'm going to paddle up the creek basically about as far as I can and then fish my way out, and I will show my progress to you guys when I'm done in Google. So if you want to make this trip as well, you'll kind of know what to expect and where to go. It is notable the lake is really high right now. The current is moving a little bit, but we are at like summer pool, so that can mean a couple things. It could mean there's a lot of water in here, so you think you would go a long ways, but it also could mean it's way up in the trees. I think there's turtles that just fell off a log back there, so let's see what happens. Switching to low profile mode. Did bring one more rod this time. Hope I don't live to regret that. And I do have my flag, just because there was some boat traffic out last time I didn't expect on the main river. Water 75, 6 feet deep right here. This looks like an old rail bridge. I don't know though. Just dropped back off to 7 feet. So I think my hypothesis of creeks push sediment to the mouth and the current from the river doesn't necessarily carry it away is still standing. It's shallower right there at the mouth, and then it drops back off. That's gonna be interesting. I'm not claustrophobic when it comes to natural things, but like this, not a fan. Not a fan. I'm not claustrophobic, more like worried how dirty or gross this could be. I'll slide down. Oh. That's a snake skin hanging down from right there. So that's comforting. I saw something break up ahead of me. If I catch a bunch of fish, I may not tell everybody where this is. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I will, because I feel like we need people to be passionate about getting these places clean, and sometimes that means telling people where they are. But I'm gonna paddle on, and I will start the camera back up, see something more interesting, or start getting to my terminus. Looking like this may already be it. Okay, there's also a lot of water, but there's a lot of trees up here ahead. And since you're not supposed to touch the water, I don't really want to get out and wade I mean, I'm already getting splashed a little bit from the paddle. I feel like that's plenty enough. I should have a new paddle coming the next few days, so that's because I'm wanting a longer paddle for this kayak. For a couple of reasons. One, my wife wants a longer paddle for this kayak because this is the one she paddles when we go on family trips. But two, I think it would cut down on the drip of water coming in the kayak, and also just kind of let me go a little quicker, just think from a gearing standpoint. But it will keep this quote nasty water from dripping on my legs as much, because it would put the blades and the drip rings further away. This looks like it. Alright, so we're at the end. I apologize for keep having to like just talk while you're on my chest watching me paddle. But in this kayak, the Liska, compared to I also have a Hobie Outback, is where my like pole that sits behind me is. But also, if I have that pole back there, it's just something else I've got to manage when it comes to going through really tight spaces. So I can probably get underneath this first tree right here, but then I'm not going to be able to get past those, I don't think. Interestingly, like if you look at that tree that's really close to the water, there is like trees growing out of that. So that's kind of cool. We'll start taking some casts and fishing our way back out. We may have to hit another creek today. We'll see. It's encouraging. It's the first bite I've gotten. I've fished almost halfway out. So that's a sign of life. I'm just going to let it simmer over there. I think something's got it. That line's moving. Got it. Hey, that's a Vestal bass right there, baby. I mean, it's small, but it's a bass and a tiny creek. Soft mouth. Look at that little dude. Take a quick picture. I don't want to drift over into where there might be more fish. Yeah. Paddle on back here. So if you're watching this and thinking, how did I know to cast there? Besides it being a tree, and you see there's lots of overhanging trees down this creek, you want to try to find something that looks just a little different. The bass tend to find things that look different. You know, I'm an expert at this, not really. But in my experience, and per the tactical bassing guys, fishing a bank with just endless stuff that looks the same, you either got to find something different on top that you can see, or with your depth finder, like a channel swing or something in a creek. But the depth's pretty much the same. Water temperature 73, a little cooler. But over there, you can see there's some rocks down the bank that's like got a tree hanging out of it. Oh, and that's not a good cast. And there's also a ton of bait fish here too. So I'm thinking that if there are fish in this creek, they're going to be where they can eat. Maybe they're not busting the bait fish right now, but they're available. It's like having food in the fridge. You may not be eating all the time, but it's there. So they maybe just be chilling over there in that shade next to those rocks. So let's see if we can do this again. Oh, throw it in the tree. That's good. Some of these fish do live in the trees. Bad skip. There we go. Just gonna let it sit again. This is why I use this neon colored line. If anybody ever wonders, you watch other people fish with Ned rig and such, in situations like this, I can let it sit and I can just watch that line. Like it straightened out a little bit when it sank, but you'll see like it just moves weird if you get a fish on there. By moves weird, I mean like it, maybe all of a sudden there's a curl on the line there wasn't there before, or maybe you have curls on top of the water when you throw it in there, and it should be sinking, so it should be straightening that line out, and it doesn't. And that means something might have it, it's carrying it. Based on my depth finder, I don't know what you can see on here, but it is like mud bottom. The 1.5 feet deep, but basically the further up from the bottom, I'll use my rod to point out for you. The further up from the bottom that you've got this color, I mean, it's the further down into the dirt that the sonar waves are penetrating before they return. And that means it's a very soft bottom. Bass in general like a hard bottom. There's a lot of jokes there, I know. Maybe there's not a school over there. I'll turn this back on if I do find them though. Getting some bites again, found another tree. I also noticed there's some bryozoa in the water over here to my left, which is usually a sign of, quote, good water quality. Got some bites over there near that creepy culvert that I came in through. I had a bite on a Cinco. Didn't take it, switched over to the Ned rig, just let it sit. Hit it again. I think there's a bunch of bluegill in here, and I cannot find my trout magnets anywhere. That's what I keep with me typically. I just want to see what's out there, panfish wise, but I can't find them anywhere. Do I have one? Do I have a fish? What do I have? Okay, I have one. Have one? I don't know what you call it. Is there a fish underneath it? No. Dang it. Before, I was dragging this on bottom, I was feeling nothing. And now I can definitely feel myself going over trees. That was a beautiful cast. That was like throwing the ball between the cornerback and the high safety. It's between two trees at like a curve. Will it pay off though? There's a bluegill pecking at the knot. There's no way you can see this. Pecking at my leader knot down there. I can see it. That feels a little bigger thuds. What the heck is going on? I can't tell if something's got it swimming with it. It feels too light. Got something tiny. Get out of those trees. Oh, actually it's a little bigger. Oh, it's a decent sized bass. I mean, like, no fight at all. Look at that. That was just dumb luck right there. I mean, like, tap, tap, tap. Alright. He must have really thought that was real or something. I don't know, but I didn't deep hook him, so it wasn't like he swallowed it. He was just like carrying it around. Maybe that goes for one of my other... Oh, dang it. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, God. There we go. Goes to one of my other hypotheses about bass. Sometimes I think they eat things or bite things, not because they want to eat it, because they want it away from them, or they want to make sure that their friend can't have it. Oh, I thought I had another one. Got a tree beast. There we go, I got it. Part of me wants to go over there and like break some limbs down and then come back and cast, so I don't stop getting over that one particular branch. Oh, I think I got him on there, maybe. Swimming with it? I think he is. Yep. There we go. Man, they're hitting so subtle. There we go. Let's get back out of trouble here. We found the fish. I gotta see if I'm gonna hold my agreement that I tell you all where I'm fishing. Like I said I would, because I want us to come clean this creek up, or to write our Congress people or whatever. I keep catching them though, I'm gonna be less prone to drop a pin and be like, hey, this is the creek. Oh my gosh, over that same freaking branch again. I can see a baby bass sitting over here to my right. I mean, it's like 2 inches long. Maybe there's like a whole population back in here, spawns and everything back in here, I don't know. I do know it's called Goose Creek, and I haven't seen a goose. Same branch. You get me this time? Looks that way. Of course, I went a little more aggressive with my cast that time. I wanted to get it way up underneath there. I think I might have it. Oh gosh. Got the lapel mic out so you guys can hear me a little better, especially as I close out this video. So thank you for watching, and I can't thank you enough for those of you who have subscribed to the channel, liking videos, etc. I definitely am not a person who started this journey thinking that I want to be a YouTuber and make money doing it, but I'm kind of close now. So I'm at like 800 subscribers as of the day that I filmed this. So if you don't mind, please make sure to subscribe, share the videos, tell people you know that there's a... Okay, I'm redoing this outro because the time that I filmed this video, and by the way, you probably can tell by my voice, I'm feeling pretty rough. I've got COVID, and it sucks. So I sneeze and stuff comes out my eyes like some kind of weird lizard or something. But anyways, back to the video. As I was editing this video, I took that opportunity to go do some research on what actually was in this creek and why it's considered to be don't touch water, you know, gross water. And that's when I found out that there is actually nuclear waste upstream from the area that I was fishing. So I encouraged everybody throughout the video like to go and fish this water. I think really what we need to do is maybe maybe don't touch the water there, but it does flow right into the Tennessee River. And Knoxville, the city of Knoxville, the part I live in, drinking water comes out above stream from that. But if you live downstream, well, there's that. But I grabbed some screenshots of an article that I had earlier in the video, and I'll show that here. But there legitimately was Oak Ridge National Laboratory nuclear waste of sorts that was put into a place, Witherspoon Industries, I think is what it was called, and the guy wasn't following the right protocols. So there were people who died from handling it incorrectly from various forms of cancer, and also seeing that there's a lot of dust and a lot of things washed into Goose Creek, which is just a terrible shame. At the time the article was written, it specifically says there was no money really designated to help clean up the area. If you know anything different, let me know. I'm pretty concerned about that. That's pretty alarming that is just kind of one of those things. And I've lived here my whole life, and I did not know that little body of water that meanders down through Vestal was terribly, terribly polluted. Not just fecal matter or anything natural. This is nuclear waste. So anyways, I'm going to stop blabbering now. Also, I'm going to lose my voice. But thank you for watching. I hope that you are watching this and feeling great yourself. By the time this posts, I better be feeling better, because I typically edit a week or two in advance. If I'm not, then things have gone terribly wrong. So anyways, before we go, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Goose Creek. So Goose Creek runs from the Vestal area in South Knoxville and empties into the Tennessee River, as pretty much every creek around here does. But it is actually exceeds what they call TDML, which is total daily maximum load for bacteria in the form, in this specific case, of fecal coliform, which typically is from sanitary and sewer line and septic tank leak situations. So not great. All of Fort Loudon Lake, so that includes this area of the Tennessee River, is under a PCP advisory, a PCB advisory. So basically there's a lot of more synthetic, exotic type chemicals in the water here, and you're not supposed to eat catfish and a certain amount of fish per person, and if you're pregnant, you're not supposed to eat. I don't think anything out of this river, so, or out of this section of the river. So not great on the pollution front, but as you did see, I did catch some fish back in there, and that's pretty fun. Historically, Goose Creek actually runs, like I said, up to Vestal or down from Vestal. Mary Vestal and their family was one of the first settlers in South Knoxville. There wasn't all these bridges and stuff you see behind me today, so going from the James White Fort area in downtown Knoxville to South Knoxville wasn't very easy. So, but once they discovered that there was a lot of marble in South Knoxville, hence the reason there's a lot of quarries in South Knoxville, people wanted to start getting in on that business, and Mary Vestal and their family had a farm and settlement, which is now Mary Vestal Park, which is a really nice baseball field, and there's a greenway there. And then, of course, there's all the quarries, Fort Dickerson or Augusta Quarry, Ross Marble Quarry, Meads Quarry, all the quarries, flooded quarries that I have fished before. You may have seen me fish Meads Quarry before. There also is Augusta Quarry, and I may go try to fish that soon. There's been a lot of break-ins of cars in the parking lot there, so I'd love to have somebody just drop me off, but may give it a shot anyways and just take everything valuable with me. But I feel like that's enough history for now and enough information about the creek. Again, just please like, subscribe, and again, thanks for watching. Bye.